Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, December 12th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, December 12th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. Morning, Maria. Let's see. I'll start marking up liquidity over here as people continue to join into the room. So let's see where liquidity is sitting over here for the day. Going down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. Back down to the 1 hour over here. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10-minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. Looks like we are good to go. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. I've just marked up liquidity here. Closest level of liquidity above is at the 44,178 mark, and the closest level of liquidity below is at the 44,152 mark. Looking over here at the clean chart, you can see prices currently ranging between the 44,200 mark and the 44,150 mark. And we'll see where market ends up taking us from here. So with that said, looking over here at the SR chart, we have a couple of zones here that are available. There goes a resistance. Support down here. And that's about it for right now. Um, we'll know the direction of the breakout shortly. So just a heads up, guys. Just a heads up for the breakout. So we currently have two back-to-back losses. I only took one of the losses. I didn't take both because I was applying the new model. But using the momentum, the original model of our breakout, it has two back-to-back losses right now. So I'm not going to be taking the breakout. If you guys want to take it, I'll call it out for you guys, but I'm not going to be taking it. I'm going between models right now, but like from what I'm seeing here, the original model and the model that the newer model that I was using, it's pretty much the same thing. Like it doesn't have very much difference in profitability. I had the data was a little skewed because of the trades um that were going back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to the original model because the original model just makes more sense logically. So I'll call the direction of the breakout, but again, today I'm not going to take the breakout. I'm going to wait for a win. Once the win has came, then I will start looking for the next breakout, which will be tomorrow. So I'm following the risk off plan. If I ever have two losses, then I just wait until a win comes and then I look for the next entry. The reason for that's because usually if we have two back-to-back losses, it typically indicates that the market is not moving it's not moving smoothly. It's not moving how it needs to for the breakout to actually hit. As you guys have seen from the market this week, Monday we had a very choppy market, price whipsawed both ways. So it didn't matter which direction you took it, it would have lost. And same with Wednesday as well yesterday. So I'm going to be smart this week and I'm going to take it easy. And just wait for a win to come before I start looking for any entries for the breakout. One big thing that I'm going to be testing today is I went back between my notes and I looked at other breakout strategies that I was testing in the past that I'd never really finished. I looked up a breakout strategy that I was testing that works during a sideways market. So I've been testing it and it actually works super well. Let me see if I can move this over here real quick to show you guys the stats for it. So I'm going to call it the liquidity grab. Basically, the way that the strategy works is we're using levels, but we're also using our bias to determine the direction of entry. So I just pulled up the data basically from December to November to October. And the stats here are pretty decent. It's a smaller point move. It's a 30-point TP, 15-point stop loss, but it's pretty profitable for the past 3 months. So I'm going to keep testing this longer term, but I just wanted to show you guys right there. I'm going to be looking for those specific. It's a once a day entry, and it happens on the levels chart over here. So I will be looking for possible entry for that specific breakout, and I'll be forward testing it on a couple of my Apex accounts just to see how it plays out real time. So, all right, guys, we got market opening up shortly. The breakout for today is going to be a buy. If you guys are looking to take the breakout, feel free to take it here. I'm not going to be taking it because, like I said, I'm on the risk off plan right now. So until I have one win, I'm not going to look for any entries here for the specific breakout. If this candle here is too big, you're supposed to flip it into a sell. Right now, currently, it's fine, but if it pushes more than 50 points, then you're supposed to flip it. So the trade for today is going to be a buy, guys, for the breakout if you guys are looking to take it. The candle here looks a little big, but not big enough. Okay, so it's still a buy right there. Entry for the breakout is currently running right now. Here are the parameters for the breakout, guys, currently running in profit. Let's hope it actually pushes through this time and it doesn't go sideways like it's been going for the past couple of days, because that's typically what's been happening on Monday and Wednesday. But here are the parameters right here. So TP is going to be at 44,307. Stop loss is going to be at 44,157. Entries at 44,207. So there goes a breakout right there currently running. We'll come back and take a look at that shortly. So I'll also be looking for my other breakout over here, which I call the liquidity grab or levels grab, basically. So breakout's currently running right now. I'll be going between the charts just to identify possible opportunity for entry. Here's the SR chart. Let me see if there's an upper zone here. Let me look at. Looks like we might be near the all-time high. Yeah, there's probably not going to be any zones up there. One right here, actually. Right, so we're pretty close to the all-time high. Price pretty much pushed up, grabbed this area up here where the news happened earlier today. Again, there's not really much direction here, guys. So this has been a problem for the breakout lately. You can see over here that it's not really pushing. It's kind of just going back and forth. It's whipsawing and ranging in between this area over here, which is not a good sign, of course. So I'm not in the breakout again, like I said earlier, guys. The breakout's still running, but I'm not in the position. Holding off on the breakout right now because we were just waiting for a win before I take the next entry. But again, price is pushing up right here. This liquidity level right here got hit. If you took that first level, full TP on that one. If you took this level right here, also full TP. And this one down here, full TP as well. So a bunch of full TPs right there with regard to liquidity. If you guys took the liquidity entries. Again, the breakout is still running right here in profit. I'm not in the breakout, but we are following the breakout for documentation purposes, of course. Okay, so I see a rejection right here. What I'm going to be looking for is I'm looking for price to provide a sell signal and then break and close below this point down here. This is going to be an example of the levels grab that I was talking about. Doesn't necessarily mean this needs to play out, but since we do have the rejection right here, I'm going to be looking for price to come down with the sell signal and then come down, break and close below this level where I'm going to be taking the entry for 30 points. So I'll be using a 30 TP, 15 stop loss, pretty tight TP stop loss. I'll be looking for price to continue that direction. So if you guys are just joining, what I'm mentioning right here is, so the breakout's currently running right now. I'm not in the breakout, like I said. If you guys are just joining, I'm not taking the breakout today because the breakout has lost for 2 days in a row. And since it lost 2 days in a row, I'm using the risk off plan. So I have to wait for a win before I can take the next entry. So I'm just waiting right now for a win for the breakout. And then if it wins today, then I'll take the breakout tomorrow. But if not, then I'm going to hold off and I'm not going to take any entries until we have a win. Over here on the clean chart, I'm looking at a new strategy that I tested a long time ago. It's a breakout strategy, but it happens outside of the open. So I'm looking for price to, well, price already rejected off this level. I'm looking for a sell signal here to come up and then continue to the downside. So basically, if this here rejects off the level, then I'm going to be looking for price to break and close below this level right here. And I'm going to be taking that for a breakout to the downside for 30 points. I'm going to be testing it, forward testing it on my Apex accounts. And we'll see here if this here ends up coming through. It's a once a day strategy as well. I mean, you can apply it throughout the day, but I'm going to be doing it once a day. My testing is just from once a day and it's been profitable over the past 3 months. I need to test it for a longer data. I'll keep going like farther back, but I just needed to see proof of concept that it actually works during these types of conditions. The good thing about this breakout is that it works in a sideways market. It actually works better in a sideways market versus a directional market. So I haven't taken any positions here yet so far, guys. There's no direction, so obviously there's not going to be any directional scalps to take here right now. So here's the thing: if this thing comes up and breaks and closes above this area, then it has to reset. You need to reset, looking for the direction of rejection again. So the breakout's still running. surprisingly. But again, you can see over here, there's no direction of price. Price is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which I'm glad I didn't take the breakout today because you can see here that it's not really moving very smoothly. Okay, so we have price back up here. Ideally, I'd like price to be up anyways because the breakout is for a buy, so I'd like price to push up. So now I'm going to reset my parameters here. So this is kind of hard to I mean, I wouldn't say it's like super hard to follow, but the thing with this strategy here is that they're both breakouts. So like, yeah, your focus has to be on like one or the other, right? So the good thing is like we take the initial breakout on open, and then for this breakout, it's right now I'm just calling it levels grab, but I'll probably call it something else like levels breakout or something like that. Because it really is a breakout strategy. It's not supposed to be a directional move or it's more of a sideways strategy, but a breakout that happens at sideways market. So we'll continue looking, but I mean, it wouldn't really matter too much because the breakout's still running right now. Jackson's asking, do you take liquidity? I can't take liquidity because I'm taking the breakout. So this is like what I was saying earlier. A lot of these strategies overlap, so you have to choose between one or the other because you can't take like if you're trading with Apex, you can't take like multiple strategies. You can't stack entries on top of each other, or it's going to be considered DCA, which is not allowed. I mean, it's allowed, but it's really isn't. Like your account will get flagged if you trade that way. So I would like to take liquidity, but I got to choose between liquidity and the breakout, right? So I can't really take both. But I mean, I would. If I could, I would, but I can't because I'm taking the breakout. Because you can see here, if I was in this breakout position right now, I'd still be holding on to it. And I couldn't hop into like more positions right now. I just got to let this trade play out. So if you do want to take liquidity, you kind of have to have a choice. It's either you stick to liquidity or you take the breakout, or you may test this other strategy that I just mentioned right now, which is the levels grab. So yeah, you have to have a choice. Like same with like any of the other scalping strategies. Like I think if you're taking liquidity, you have to just stick to liquidity because there's they happen so often and they come up like almost every time where you'll be in a position and then you can't really enter something because your position will still be active. So, all right, this level of liquidity here got hit as well. I mean, it already got hit earlier and it pushed through right there. So I'm going to clean this up and I will draw a new level of liquidity right there. All right, so I'm still looking for that levels grab. It's got to be a clean rejection off the level. It can't be something like this where it just taps it. It needs to like break through it and then come back down. But this one's like directly on point with the rejection there. So price is currently above the 4-hour resistance. I mean, we might be at all-time high. Let me check. No, not yet. We're not even close to it, actually. Sorry. I thought we were close to it, but it's like way up here. The daily and the 4-hour resistance is way up here still. So we're still a distance away from the all-time high. Let me check real quick. Oh, we're very far, like 1,000 points. So we're not going to be hitting all-time highs anytime soon. All right. So the breakout order flow entry, we'll take a look at those too. But like I said, I'm trying to keep things as I guess simple as possible. And I feel like the order flow is a little complicated in a sense for a lot of people, not necessarily for me, but for a lot of other people to follow. All right, breakout is still running, guys. I'm kind of glad that I'm not in the breakout. This is one of those breakouts that I just wouldn't be happy taking because this thing it's not breaking out, right? It's still kind of going sideways. And this is why implementing the other strategy that I referred to, levels breakout, because you don't have to take it on open. So we've had this sideways market kind of running for a while now, guys, where price just doesn't go in either direction. Price is moving, but it's not really going in either direction. You can see the opening price is actually right here. So price hasn't actually gone anywhere since. Yeah, so price hasn't really gone anywhere. I mean, breakout's still in profit, which is great. It's a good sign because we need this breakout to hit before I can take the next breakout. The only problem here is that price isn't breaking out. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the breakout, right? You're looking for that high volatility here on open, market open right here at 630, price pushed up in profit, pulled back for retracement, then now it's pushing back up. I tested the lower TP stop loss, guys. I kind of dropped it down a little bit to like the 50-25, and it doesn't work well. So I'm not going to be using it. I dropped it down and the stats are just they weren't good. So I tested the 50-25 for basically December, November, and the profit was not good. Like for December, it was a loss. It's at a loss right now. And at November, it would have been at break even. So it just wasn't worth switching TP stop loss to anything smaller. All right, the breakout's finally starting to push to the upside. I tried other things too. So I was trying to see if like it would work better if we had a wider TP stop loss. It didn't work any better. So I think the 100 TP 50 stop loss is the good sweet spot for the breakout. It's just you just got to eat those losses when price is going sideways. Because there's going to be some days where trades will lose either direction if you take a buy or a sell. So the breakout's currently running in profit, guys. We got price pushing past this area of liquidity right there. And we got price pushing back up right here as we speak. Glenn's asking, how about 15-15 for a small scalp? I think 15-15 could work. I mean, for this breakout here, I'm using a 15-30, so my stop loss is at 15. So if that's the case, I mean, it should work for you for small scalps. But you have to get in at like prime entry. Like you can't get in when the market's super choppy. So I think 15-15 could work, Glenn. I'm gonna be using 15-30 for this for this levels grab over here. Or levels breakout. I don't know what name I'm gonna call it yet. I just called it levels grab because it's kind of what it seems like, but it's also a breakout. So yeah, I mean 15 is kind of tight. So just keep that in mind, Glenn. 15 TP, 15 stop loss is like really, really tight. I was using it yesterday. But if you get in and there's no retracement, then it's perfect because you're able to minimize your risk like almost completely. So I think it works good when the market's not super choppy. Like right now, the market's not super choppy, but it is rangy. So the breakout's currently pushing in profit, guys, still pushing up right here. There's not really many scalps here to take right now. If you guys are looking to take a scalp, market flow V2 would happen right here. So if price pushes back, retraces, and pushes back higher, the market flow V2 is going to happen right here at the 30 or the 40 mark right here. Just depends on how far price pushes up, but it looks like it's going to be down here at the 30 for now. So breakout's looking good so far. It's pushing up higher. Currently have a buy signal right now. So what I'm going to look for here is I'm going to look for price to come down, bounce off the level right there for a wick rejection. And then I'll be looking for it to push up to the next level above. Let's see. Viv is asking, can you repeat what the liquidity bow looked like again? Sorry, Viv, can you repeat that? I think you might have misspelled something. So the liquidity breakout, oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, sorry. You used the acronym. Thanks. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to reject off any level where it can reject off, this level or this level. I'll look for a buy signal or a sell signal to push in that direction so I know where the momentum's at. So right here, you can see we have a rejection off this level right here, right? So with the rejection off the level, I'm going to look for price to push through and break past this level here. So we already have a buy signal here. If we get a sell signal, that's fine. We'll just look for the same setup. But we're looking for like three main things. We're looking for a rejection off the level, a wick rejection, where the wick goes through the level. And then we're going to look for momentum so you know which direction to be trading in. And then we're going to look for a break and close past the next level. So the momentum is a key thing because, like, for example, here, if price bounces off here, but you get a sell signal around this middle area, this indicates that like momentum is not really pushing to the upside yet. So you're going to look for that buy signal to know which direction to continue trading in. Because if it's a sell signal, then that's going to be a key thing to pay attention to, right? Because you don't want to be taking a trade in the opposite direction of momentum, unless you have a pending momentum the other direction. So again, right here, we have the buy signal. We have the rejection right here off the level. And then I'm going to be looking for price to push above here and break past it. If this candle breaks and closes below this level here, though, I need to reset the pattern, right? So we need to reset that rejection and then look for it to push back up, which is completely fine because what might happen here is price might provide a sell signal. So what might happen here in another situation, if it doesn't end up staying above this price, is we might get a sell signal, right? So that's fine because that's going to be a retracement confirmation. So if we get a retracement here, that's completely fine because then we'll look for something like this. Let me just show you real quick because it looks like price is trying to come back down right here. We might get a retracement, then it might come back up, then it might come back and retest it and push back up higher, right? Like a W pattern. And there goes that sell signal. And there goes that close below. So now that price is closed below here, we need to see price come back up. Come back up higher, basically a W pattern, or vice versa. So here's the thing: if price comes below this point and we get a sell signal, so say price comes below here and it comes down to this point, then that's fine because then I'll just look for the sell, right? I'm just looking for price to break out of these levels. That's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm using momentum to my advantage. That's my catalyst, so I know which direction to be trading in. But I mean, yes, that's basically the gist of it. All right, so we got this here kind of going around right now. Max said, how has liquidity been moving smoothly or pretty choppy? So the initial liquidity touches, like the ones on open or the ones that are bunched up, Max, they've been hitting pretty nice. Like they just blast right through. I don't know if you saw the liquidity this morning, but they just kind of blasted right through. There's a bunch of levels of liquidity right here that got hit. So all these lower levels right here, these got knocked out on this candle right here. So you can see all these untested highs that were right here. There's about three of them. They all blasted right through and hit full TP. And then when it got closer to like the sessions over here, this is where it got a little choppy. But that's how it is typically when price gets near the sessions. And then price hasn't really came down yet since. So there was another level of liquidity right here, but this was too high. So obviously I wouldn't have taken it. It was right at the sessions too. But pretty much if the liquidity is out in the open and it's bunched up, then it usually hits pretty smooth. Otherwise, if there's a sessions there, then it typically will get a little choppy because that's usually what happens when price gets near the sessions. So the breakout over here is still running in profit, guys. I mean, if you guys want to move your stop loss in profit, you can, but if you want to hold on to it for the full move, we'll continue following it here. Price has pushed up a total of about 65 points so far. So it's reached a max of 65 points in profit, which is more than halfway to full TP. And again, price here is still going sideways. So this kind of defeats the purpose of the breakout because again, you want the breakout to go straight to TP right away. So depending on how you want to manage your position, if you want to move your stop loss in profit, you can move it up to like maybe right here, the 44,233 mark or 44,235 mark so that you can kind of protect your position. But if you just want to hold on to it, let the trade run, feel free to hold on to it. Again, I'm not in this position. I'm just following it because I need a win before I can take the next entry. Um, Here goes the MPS entry, guys. So I told you guys about the MPS entry right here that was at 240. It's currently running right now. It's currently running in profit and it's pushing back up higher. Let's see. Sam said he's looking for a sell at 44,296. Okay, see that up here. We'll keep an eye out for that for you as well. Let's hope it pushes up higher. The TP is a little bit higher. It's at 307. So let's hope that it pushes up at least at 307 and then it comes down. So we'll see. Or it might be a small retracement, like you said. Yeah, maybe a bit of a reversal scalp. Yeah, possibly. I mean, I could see those kinds of moves happening here because the volatility here is just super low, right? Like, I mean, looking at the breakout right here, this thing's been running forever. It's 652 right now. We haven't had a 100-point move yet. So yeah, I could see that happening for sure. Again, I'm not in any positions here. I'm just waiting for the setup here to come up. Once the setup comes up, I'll start looking for opportunity. But right now, there's just no setup. Looking at the order flow over here, we have a sell signal that's currently active. So if this candle right here closes with a higher negative delta of 71, so like a negative 80, this could be a possible entry for breakout V3 order flow. This is going against the breakout, so I personally wouldn't take it. I mean, just for me, my sake, because obviously I want price to go up. I don't want price to go down. If you guys want to take it, it is kind of pushing through right here. So I'll mark it up. So this would be a sell right here for order flow. I'll just follow it. I'm not going to take it, but I'll follow it here. I don't want to go against the breakout because obviously that's like bad karma. Right, so this is what we would call the breakout V3 order flow. Get a sell signal. The delta over here showed that the sellers are in control. -1, -1, -71, -145. This here would be the setup for that. Viv is asking, what else can I use for momentum on NinjaTrader? I really don't want to I really don't want to open a chart for TradingView. Honestly, I don't know. If I knew, I would have used it myself too, but I don't have these indicators ported over to NinjaTrader. The code's a little different. So the code on NinjaTrader is okay, but it's like a little dated compared to TradingView. The thing with TradingView is that they're always updating the Pine script, so you're always going to have like the stuff that's running with with the times. Ninja is okay, but the script is a little older, so it's a little more it's just not the same. So I've tried to port it over, but it doesn't provide the same signals like it does here on TradingView because the algorithm that I use here for momentum, it's specific for TradingView. And the thing is, the data here is different. So yeah, there's nothing that I can recommend from on NinjaTrader. It's all on TradingView for the most part. I think NinjaTrader is going to start updating their code a little more because I mean NinjaTrader has been around for a while, and let me go back to the levels chart, and they're updating a lot of stuff since they bought Tradeovate. They're starting to update a lot more stuff, so maybe they'll port over to like something similar to ThinkScript or PineScript, which is on TradingView. But right now their coding language is like a bit different, so it's not going to be as accurate as it would be. Like it wouldn't be exactly the same as TradingView, and all the strategies are based off testing on TradingView. So that's why I would just stick to TradingView for the most part. Yeah, Max said he tried flipping 10 150Ks yesterday, but got stopped out in both directions. Yeah, that's been the case lately, Max. I mean, it's been tough with like the market lately. So I'm glad that well, I'm not glad that you lost it, but I'm glad that you noticed that too, because there's going to be some markets where it's just better not to trade. So, and this is one of those markets like this week right now, Monday was a loss and it would have lost either direction. You could have took a buy or a sell, you would have lost. Same with today, or yesterday, actually. You could have taken a buy or a sell and you still would have lost either way. Um, it's just the type of market that we're currently in. So it's better to sit on the sidelines. And I think this is like the hardest part for a lot of people. A lot of people don't know how to just wait and sit on the side and wait for, their setups to come up. Because like for a lot of people, they just want to take trades like all the time, right? Which is understandable. I mean, it's understandable. Of course, you want to take trades all the time, you want to make profit, but when the market's moving like this, it's better to just sit out and not be in a position and then be stressed out about it and then having it hit your stop loss versus, I have these trades that I'm currently following, but I'm not necessarily in them. So I don't really have any skin in the game right now with regard to the positions that are currently running or that may be running because the market's going back and forth. You can see here from the clean chart too, it's pretty obvious. I mean, price has been in this huge range for a while. It's pretty much just ranging between these two zones right here. So the range is between the 250 and the 150. Whenever price pushes outside this area, it fakes out, pulls back into the range. And then same with the opposite direction, right? Price pushes out here, pulls right back in. Yeah, Viv said, sounds like me desperate to win. Yeah, sometimes the winning trade is the sitting out trade. It's really not taking anything. You got to have like the discipline to just to like, keep your hands off the mouse or keep your hands off the clicker. I think this is why it's a good reason too that I have two different platforms. Like I execute my trades on NinjaTrader, but I have my analysis here on TradingView. So like if I don't see anything in the market, it's not easy for me to just get in real quick. Like I can't just enter a position off the chart right here, since I'm mainly analyzing on this chart. It gives you that kind of like the balance. So like in order for me to take a trade, I got to go to this separate computer and I got to hit sell or buy on this computer versus right here, I can just analyze and I can just use my thoughts versus versus like my stress from being in an actual position. So, I mean, it's all part of the game, guys. I mean, a lot of people are like that. Um, it's a common thing with trading. Most people have that problem where you just can't stay away from the charts, or you can't just sit there and analyze the charts without taking an actual entry. Let's see, Imperium's asking, would it be ideal to take the buy now if we miss the breakout? I wouldn't take it. I mean, personally, I wouldn't recommend it. If you want to take it, Imperium, feel free. I mean, it's still running and it's in profit right now. But because of the market conditions right now, like I can see the market structure here. Like the breakout's already kind of like burned out at this point because the breakout was supposed to hit immediately on open, right? So market open right here at 6:30. The breakout should have been pushed up already, or it should have been pushed down. It doesn't matter which direction, but there should have been a breakout in either direction. So at this point right now, you're kind of gambling because the breakout's going to happen eventually, but it's not going to be the breakout that you were looking for because we were looking for a breakout on open. But since that didn't happen here, this is going to be a breakout eventually, but not a breakout on open. So this kind of it debunks the strategy that we were following. The whole strategy is market opens at 6:30 and then we get a spike to the upside and it hits TP, or we get a spike to the downside and hit stop loss, right? That was what we're looking for. Like we don't care if it hits TP or stop loss because it's going to go into the data. And then from going into the data, we can use that to figure out, okay, do I want to take the trade tomorrow? Like if I'm following the risk off plan, but right now we just don't have that. So I wouldn't recommend taking it. If you want to take it, feel free. I mean, but just understand the risk because the breakout here is not a breakout. This is like a long out or a slow out. This isn't really breaking out anywhere. It's just going slow. I do think eventually price will push up though, because of course, like as we get closer to the end of the week, price is going to try to reach the all-time high or get close to it or push in that direction. So I do think price will be bullish as we move closer towards the end of the week. Also, looking at the news from today, this is why it's kind of tricky because we had PPI earlier, which is producer price index inflation news. It was positive, but then the initial jobless claims and 4-week average were negative. So you got mixed news right here. It's really hard to determine which direction price will likely go. I'm gonna take this off right here. I didn't enter any positions yet. Still looking for that levels breakout. Yeah, Sam said, do not trade news in December. Never, ever, just my thoughts. Yeah, because the market's so choppy in December, right, Sam? Have you noticed that? During the winter and during the summer, the news market or like when news breakouts happen, like you can see the news breakout here at 5:30. It it spiked, but it wasn't very strong. So it pushed up about 50 points and it came right back down. Not very too much of a direction there. Barack said he spelled out patience, patience. Barack, the market is going absolutely nowhere. Yeah. And it's surprising that Barack is able to have patience because Barack has probably the least amount of patience of a lot of people here. Barack will be like the lock-in profits here and there and then losing it the next day because patience. But the fact that Barack is exercising patience right now is key because it's I mean you can see here guys, if I take the momentum off, you can see here a little clear. There's nothing going on. Market open right here at 6:30. The real range is actually between these two price points right here because market open right here at 6:30. So I'll put a line right here. This is the opening candle. And whenever price gets outside of the zone, so it gets out of the 250 mark right here, fakes out, pulls back in, gets below here, the 200 mark, and then it fakes out and just pulls right back in. So I don't think this is a good time to take any trades, guys. Just being real with you guys. This isn't to deter you guys from entering anything, but this is really just to give you guys a heads up that there's just nothing going on here. It's just a lot of back and forth movement. Jackson says, Sean, you are the patient kung fu master. I don't know how you do it, man. I start itching. Yeah, I know. A lot of people get that. The thing is, I've taken so many L's trading because I've been trading for so long. I've been trading with you guys here for, I think, almost 8 years now. So 8 years live trading every single morning, and then 10 years of just overall trading. I think trading with you guys for a while has kind of taught me to be disciplined, really, because after you lose so many times over the years, you understand that if you can just prevent those losses and just keep winning where you win, you'll be way more profitable long term. And I think that's what's caused me to be more profitable. It's not really that I'm not winning a ton of trades. It's that I'm avoiding a lot of losses. So I think that's the key thing with my trading. Once I started to be able to sit out of the market and just kind of watch it, I started to make way more profit overall because I'm not taking all these random trades or I'm not taking these random losses. I'm kind of just waiting for the trades to come to me. And I think if you talk to anybody who's been trading for a long time and who's actually profitable, like, it's crazy because you see all these people on like Instagram or YouTube and they're showing you like they're taking these huge moves and these huge trades and stuff. And then you think that like, okay, those trades are coming up all the time. But realistically, those trades are not really happening like that, like how people show you. Like if you're able to like sit through this market here, I'm pretty sure someone's going to post on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever that they made a big profit today, that they caught this top part, right? And I think it's BS. I call BS on a lot of those people who call trades like that, unless they're trading live like me. If they're trading real time, like we're sitting together and they're like, oh yeah, take this trade right here, and they take it, then okay, it's believable. But you'll see a lot of people who post trades like that, they like record it. So they'll record the video and then I'm sure like 1,000 times out of like one of the 1,000 times that they take those trades, it actually hits. But a bunch of the times that they take it, it just loses. So they're like cherry picking the winner because being able to identify a position like this and catch the drop all the way down is like really, really difficult. It's not as easy as people might make it seem. So you just got to keep that in mind, guys. And one thing that I learned through trading for a long period of time too is really just staying in my lane. Like I know the way that I trade, I know the way that I'm good at. So for me, I trade better when I'm conservative versus riskier. And that's why I'm over here being a lot more conservative than probably most other people out there who trade. Yeah, Imperium said, I see, thank you. I like how low risk you are. What trade will you possibly take this morning? So I'm just looking for one setup right now, Imperium. I'm looking for this strategy that I've been testing. Well, I tested this a long time ago. I never really followed through with it because I was just too focused on stuff that we were already doing. but it's a breakout strategy that happens in a sideways market, which is perfect because we're in a sideways market right now, right? So with us being in a sideways market, I'm looking for price to reject off a level here. So I'm looking for it to reject off a level. There was actually an entry right here, but this happened pre-market, so it wouldn't have met criteria. But I'm looking for something like this. See how we had a rejection off this level right here? Let me just replay it. This happened on open, so it wouldn't have been something that I would have taken specifically because I'm only looking for entries on open. It's like a one-time breakout entry. Let me refresh this. Okay, let me go back to replay. So the setup that I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to reject off a level like this. I'm looking for my momentum signal to identify the direction of price. So rejection, see the buy signal right here, and then price broken close past the next level. So rejection, and then I'm looking for that breakout. So I'm looking for the confirmation of rejection, confirmation of direction with momentum, and then price breaking close past this area. It's really key that you look at momentum because if we had a sell signal here, I wouldn't have taken it. A price right here broken close past it, and then I would have taken the entry right here for 30 points. So I've done a 30-15 move right there. The next trade pushed up right there, and you can see right there a full TP. So that's what I'm looking for. This is a setup of like that strategy. The momentum is key though, because you can easily be on the wrong side if we had a sell signal here. Like if this buy signal didn't come up and it would just spiked up, I wouldn't have taken it. But because we had the buy signal right here, I already knew momentum was pushing up. I just rode the momentum, right? Because we had the rejection, momentum, price pushed up, broke structure, and then rode it up higher. And this is like a once a day type entry too. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for that. That's all I'm waiting for. Again, right here, we have a rejection. We have a sell signal right here. Look for it to push down below this point here if it can. And if it does, then I'll be looking for that entry there. This is an old strategy. Like I came up with this a long time ago, but I just never really applied it. And I never really tested it because we were already applying a different breakout strategy. But now that we have this here, I'm going to be looking for possible opportunity here for entry, of course. So this candle's got about like 30 seconds left on it. I'm going to be looking for it to break and close below this level here. It's got like 20 seconds later. Got 5 seconds left. I don't think it's going to break and close below it. Um, so I'm just going to pay attention to this level down here because if it does break and close below it, I'll be looking for myself to enter a sell here. Got to actually close below. Like it's got to be a pretty clean close. Like it's got to come below. It can't just like close at the line because you can easily just do this where it bounces off. So again, we have a sell signal. We have the rejection right there. Price broke below it, retested the level. Now it's coming back lower. Again, I needed to close in, break and close below this point here. Once it breaks and closes, I'll be looking for that possible opportunity for entry. It's kind of similar to, so if you guys remember before we had this other strategy that I introduced, it was called level strategy. It's very similar to it, but this is more of a breakout type. So again, I'm just going to watch price here because, I mean, price can easily come down at any point. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, Drew said it's sweeping London low right now. That's going to line up with your buy, Sam. Sam's looking for a buy at 44,130 or 44,123. So looking for that V1 variation pattern for reversal. All right, so we still don't have anything here yet. Again, I'm going to keep following this here. If price breaks into another zone, then I'll just wait for that to happen. Otherwise, I'll just keep watching, because if price pushes back up, that's fine. We'll just look for the same pattern in the opposite direction. But right now we're still down in this area. So with it being down here, I'm looking for price to come below. But it looks like the volatility here kind of slowed down a little bit. 7-11 right now. Here is our main chart. So you can see all the liquidity here got hit. If you guys took any levels of liquidity here, I mean, pretty much all of them got hit. This one got hit, this one got hit, this one, this one, this one, this one, and price again down here got hit as well. So lots of levels of liquidity down below that got hit. Yeah, Drew said the sellers are fighting right now. It's off the low of the night. Yeah, we'll see if they hold. I mean, it's kind of tough to see here. So this breakout V3 order flow like ran for a long time. It didn't actually hit full TP, but it did run for like pretty long period right there. Or if there's another order flow here. Oh, not really. All right, so here goes price pushes back up. If price doesn't come below, then that's completely fine. We'll just look for price to climb its way back up. Let's take a look at the breakout. I think the breakout might have hit stop loss, but let's see. Yeah. So the breakout for today, it would have lost in either direction. If you took the buy here, it would have lost because price came down. If you took the sell here, it would have lost as well because price pushed up 50 points. So this is really unusual. Yeah, it's pretty unusual because we've had about 3 of these happen this week. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't take any of these trades. I mean, the only fix for this would be to switch to a one-to-one restore. Because if you do 100, they would hit. Like they would hit no problem. Um, the negative risk rewards here, they're not going to work because price is chopping both directions. So what I've noticed here is that it'll work, but you have to use a 100 TP stop loss, which is a one-to-one. Or I mean, you could do a 1 to 1.5 as well. But you can see over here, either direction for the breakout today would have lost. If you took a buy, it would have lost because price came down. If you took a sell, it would have lost because price came up. So we're in a very, very tricky market, guys. Like this whole week there's been 3 of them that happened this week. So we had one on Monday, same thing happened. Yesterday it happened, and then today it happened. So this is why I'm sitting out of the market for the breakouts, because like I said, this is just one of those time periods where the market's not really moving how it needs to for these breakouts to actually hit. So there's 2 options here for the breakout. You can either go to a one-to-one and trade on 100 GP stop loss, because that'll prevent you from getting whipsawed out. Or in other situation, you can just wait. Like for me, I prefer to just wait because I don't want to change the setups or the TP stop loss. I still want to trade with a positive risk to reward. So I'm going to sit out and just wait. There's only one loss today for the breakout, or this week, that I've taken. It was on Monday. And I mean, that was about it. I didn't take the trade yesterday. I didn't take the trade on Tuesday. So yeah, that's about it. So looking over here back to the levels chart, guys, or yeah, the clean chart, there's no entry here yet. Again, I'm looking for the rejection off so this would have been a possible entry if we had a nicer wick rejection off the level down here. Because we didn't have that wick rejection, it's just a test of the price. It's not going to fit the criteria for the entry. So I need a rejection that's like this. Actual wick rejection right there. which is not the case here. So there's no entry here yet for me. I'm still going to be waiting for this possible entry. Again, it's like a once happens once a day. But when it does happen, it usually moves pretty nicely. Yeah, Sam didn't get that V1 variation right here, unfortunately. So he couldn't get that reversal back to the upside. But you can see here that price is just ranging. So like now the range is like super, super wide. The range was initially up here, broke below. Now we're having the range down here, and it's breaking back above. We're pretty much in a huge range right here. This whole area between the 250 and the 100 mark is the entire range for the day. If you were to measure this to see where price currently moved, so you measure from opening price to current price, it hasn't really moved that much. It's moved like about 40 points. So let me clean this up here. There hasn't really been too much directional push today. All right, so I cleaned up the liquidity right there. Leave that as is. Looking at the order flow right here, there's a possible breakout V3 order flow that's running. Again, I wouldn't take any entries here for directional pushes, so good thing we didn't take that. It's not good to take any directional moves here because price is just ranging. So you guys can see the back and forth move here. I wouldn't take any directional trades. I would take sideways entries, but not directional trades. Even the breakout entries are tricky. So let me put this over here real quick. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm just going to put it in our stats so that you guys are aware. It's good to be aware of the market conditions because the market conditions will show you, when to trade and when not to trade. Obviously, right now is not a good time to trade. So I'm going to keep sitting on the sidelines, just waiting for something here to confirm or happen so I can take the next opportunity that may appear. So this right here, if we get that wick rejection, which we just did. So we got that wick rejection right there. See if price pushes up and breaks past the area up here. It's not a clean wick rejection though, because this next candle is below it actually. So I'll have to look for another wick rejection. So I'm pretty much just going to copy and paste what I posted yesterday. Yesterday is the same exact setup as today, which I think is crazy for the breakout. Two back to back. It just shows that there's no direction in the market. So pretty much the same thing as yesterday, guys. As you can see over here, it doesn't matter which direction you took the buy or the sell, would have lost either way. And I'll put some more notes here. Yeah, so the only optimal change that you can do here is you can just change your TP stop loss to a 1-to-1. Right now we're doing a 1-to-2. So we have a 100-point TP, 50-point stop loss. If you do 100, you can survive the chop because there's obviously like all this chop that's happening right here. I mean, that's the only thing you can really do because it doesn't matter if you take a buy or a sell, you would have lost the trade. So really you'd have to use a 100 TP stop loss, which again is not bad. You can do a 1-to-1. 1-to-1 works. It's just some people don't like 1-to-1s. I mean, personally, I don't like 1-to-1s either as much for the breakouts because it's a once a day strategy. So if you're doing a 1-to-1, it's kind of counterintuitive if you end up having more losses than wins. Like your win rate would have to be substantially higher. So, all right, back to the charts over here. Let's look at our overall chart. So looking at the 4 hour, it's currently bearish right now. You can see prices above below the pivots. The 1 hour is also bearish here below the pivots. 30-minute is it was bullish on the previous candle, now it's swinging back down to bearish. The 10-minute, it was bullish, swinging down to bearish as well. The 5-minute over here is currently bearish at the moment, and the 1 minute is bearish. So we have an overall bearish trend with regard to all the time frames here. That's just one thing to look at the moment. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a tricky market to trade, and I wouldn't take any directional entries right now, guys. It's just not a good time to take directional entries. Like, for example, if you took a market flow V2, this here wouldn't have played through. It would have hit your stop loss. Today's a good time to just sit out and wait. I mean, you can see from the market structure, it's not really a good market structure to be trading in anyways. We have a possible sell signal here that's pending. So with that sell signal pending, I'm going to look for the retest of this price zone. So I'll look for price to come down, retest the zone, come back down further, break and close below it. And I'll look for that possible sell. Otherwise, we currently still have a buy signal here. So we have a buy signal. If we get a rejection right here off this level, like a nice wick rejection, it's got to be a wick rejection, no body. So if we get a nice wick rejection off this level here and price pushes up higher, then we might get the opposite here, possible buy. But I'm still looking for this levels breakout. I'm not going to look for an entry after 8 o'clock. So like typically my cutoff is still 8 o'clock from the data over here. So let me check the data for that specific strategy. So I've only had the data from yesterday up until October 1st. So the stats over here is 21 wins, 25 losses, profit ratio of 405 points, win-loss ratio of 51%. So, you know, if I'm doing a bigger contract size, because these are smaller moves, it's 15 to 30 points. So I'd probably use 20 contracts on Apex. So 20 times 5 times 405. So for the month, for the past 3 months, this is how much profit it would have yielded per account. If we use this over here, where we skip the trades, meaning we skip back-to-back losses, this is where the stats would be right here. So if I was to skip trades, it'd be a little less, 300 points. Win-loss ratio would go up a little bit. So I think for this, I probably won't skip any trades. I'll probably just take them all as they come up. But again, it's a once-a-day strategy. Win-loss ratio for December was 75%. Win-loss ratio for November was 50%. Again, it's a 1 to 2. So as long as you're above like a 40% or 30%, you'd be in profit. And then for October, 43.5%. Not a high win-loss ratio, but the risk reward is good. So you'd still net a profit at the end of the month. So these are the stats for that levels grab that I'm looking for right here. I mean, they tend to hit pretty nicely for the most part. December's actually been really good so far. There's only been 2 losses for the whole month. So it works well in a sideways market. We have the sell signal right here, guys. So with the sell signal, I'm gonna look for price to retest this level, come back lower, and break below the price point down here. So as you guys can see, pretty much from all the strategies that that I'm applying here, I'm for the most part using the I'm using the momentum as catalyst. I mean, it's pretty much like what I use for nearly all the strategies. Just waiting for this here to play through. You know, just got to be patient, but this type of market is this type of market will demand patience from you guys, because honestly, you could have taken any entry here and it would have, I mean, it either would have played decent for you or it would have been very, very bad because of the choppiness, right? Because you can enter a sell or a buy here. So for example, if you entered a buy right here because you thought prices are pushing up like a little late, then you're kind of screwed because price is now going sideways. It's a tough situation there. Let's see, Daryl said he's been doing 1-to-1 50 ticks this week. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's been hitting pretty smoothly for you, right, Daryl? Because I think right now with this type of market that we're in, you'd have to use either a one-to-one or even a negative risk reward because the choppiness is like if your TP is too far out, it's going to be super easy to get chopped out. There's no direction, of course. You can see over here from the clean chart. So again, price is still not really doing much. We have the rejection right here off this candle. It has a buy signal as well, guys. So with that said, if this buy signal closes, which it did, I'm now looking for price to break and close above the price here. So there goes my catalyst. I have a buy signal, so I know I'm looking for price to push up. We have the rejection right here off the 150 price point. I'm gonna look for price to break and close past the 200, and then I'll look for a possible push to the upside from there. So that is about it for right now. I'm looking for price to break and close past this area up here. We'll see if the push holds. I mean, it might not. Again, I'm just testing this strategy for now. I'm testing it on my own accounts or my Apex accounts, not my personal ones, of course. Because if this is the case and the win-loss ratio is pretty good on this one, then this could be a good alternative to the actual breakout during these types of markets where price is going sideways. Because the breakout works well. The momentum breakout on open, it works well when the market's actually moving directional. But for markets like this, like say winter months and summer months, this would be a good alternative for sideways markets. Because typically the winter months are sideways and the summer markets are sideways. So it's always good to have another strategy kind of like in your back pocket just in case you want to change things around a bit. That's freezing today. I should turn the heater on. It's starting to feel like winter finally. All right, 727 right now. Still nothing here to take. Again, like I said, I'm just gonna be waiting for something here to happen, of course. All right, so price didn't actually push up, like I said. It's still kind of sitting here. I mean, there's a possibility for it to push up, but you can see from the low volatility here, I'm not really expecting much here to happen, unfortunately. I was really looking forward to test the strategy out, but nothing there. Again, if you guys didn't see the example, so this is an example of what we were looking for. And I'll show you again real quick so that you guys have an idea of what to focus on when we get down to that point. So there was an entry that happened here, but it happened on the pre-market candle. So again, right here, we had the rejection from the level right here, the 150 mark. We had a buy signal here. This is the catalyst to look for buys. And then price broke and closed above this area right here, which is the 200 mark. So this is the pattern that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the rejection. I'm looking for momentum so I know which direction to trade in. And then I'm looking for the breaking close for confirmation. Once I had that right there, that's would have been the entry. Now it would have been the full TP right there. 30 points, TP, 15 point stop loss, very tight stop loss. But you're looking for the breakouts. You're looking for price to break out from this area, go straight to your TP. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, like I said, and unfortunately, the type of market that we're currently in, there's just not very much direction. This is meant for a sideways strategy or sideways market conditions, but I mean, you can see over here, it's a sideways market, but it's not very consistent. So like I would look for price to come and retest this area, push up, but we're not really getting that push. You'll see price will just kind of test an area, then it'll sit down the middle. So I'll keep looking for the entry, but again, guys, it's just not really looking like setup's going to come up here anytime soon. I mean, I need to focus on the chart because we can get that spike to the upside at any point. So I'm going to keep this here marked up so that we're aware that we have the rejection. We do have the buy signal here. So I just need price to push up. Once it pushes up, I'll be looking to enter that trade very quickly. The only thing that I would be worried about here is if it's going to actually hold, because the volatility here is so low that I'm hoping that it actually, when it does close, it's going to keep pushing up and it's not just going to sit here. Because best case scenario, this pushes up and it climbs right to TP. Worst case scenario is price fills and then it just goes sideways here for a while, right? Because then that defeats the purpose of a breakout. It's no longer a breakout at that point. So here we go. As price moves sideways again. And again, I'm just waiting. It's just, it's a game of patience, guys. It's really a game of patience because I'm just waiting for the setup to come up. The setup gets near, but it just doesn't get to that point where we have the full confirmation of what we're looking for. On the high lows here real quick. So there's a similar strategy to this, but using the high lows. I just wanted to see if it came up today. No, doesn't look like it did. So initially I created this strategy with the high lows and then I moved it over to the levels because the levels are more stable because like they don't change. They're like at the specific levels at all times. Market. Foreign market. All right, again, the volatility here is very, very low again. We need some volatility here to take these entries. All right, let me see if it pushes up. We got about 30 seconds left on this candle. Again, I'm looking for price to break and close past the structure here. It's got to be a pretty clean break and close. It can't be like super close to it. It's got to be pretty clean because I'm not going to like force a trade here. So we got 15 seconds left on this candle. Again, I got to follow this, make sure it actually closes above it. Candle has about 5 seconds left on it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So let's see where the criteria would be. So make sure everything here is okay.
Order submitted.
1. All right, so again, like I said, guys, I'm testing the strategy out, trying to see here how it plays through. You guys don't have to take it, but the setup did come up right there. So I will be following it here and see where this ends up going. The volatility here, again, is just too low. But the only way for me to see if the strategy works well is if I test it during, real market conditions. So that's the only way for me to really see if and how this works. Again, this isn't an official entry. It's just something that I'm forward testing from a strategy, an alternative to the original breakout. To breakout that happens at the levels. The problem with this here, again, like I said, this is what I was hoping was not going to happen, where price consolidates. I was looking for the volatility to continue pushing, but you can see here the volatility is pretty flat. So we'll follow through. If it plays through, it plays through. If it doesn't, it's cool. I'm gonna add it to the data, and I'll just keep applying it as we move forward. Yeah, the volatility here again is just not there. So what I was hoping for here, and if price does push back up, great. It's supposed to be a breakout. So you see the breakout structure over here, price break structure. I'm looking for it to actually push through and get up there. But because the volatility here is so slow, like this is like like I said earlier, this is the worst case scenario. Price break closes above, and then it just ends up going sideways here. Because it defeats the breakout, the purpose of the breakout. Breakout's supposed to break out. It's not supposed to consolidate. It's not supposed to range. It's supposed to go in a direction. So, and this is all I was looking to take today. I mean, other than that, the sideways or the directional moves here weren't really directional. So it looks like price is at opening price. It's kind of having trouble getting past it. It's kind of where it's sitting right now. All right. So it looks like markets here just going to stay flat for the most part. And unfortunately got stopped out on that, but it's okay. Like I said, I'm
Order
just
fill.
testing. I'm just testing it right now. The volatility is just too low. So I keep the stop loss really tight here. So I can get out like when I need to, take low risk on that trade. And then when price pushes back up, obviously I'll be looking for the next opportunity. But all right, there goes that. I'm gonna go and put that into the stats for today. It's like one of the first losses for December. So let me add this over here real quick. So like I said before, guys, I'm just gonna keep adding stats to it. So lost today, unfortunately, but this is how I'll get better at it. Or this is how I'll know how to make changes and adjustments to it. It was kind of I kind of figured it was going to be the case because of the slow market conditions, but it's all good. This is why I need to do it for a negative, or sorry, a positive risk to reward. So like, even though I lose a trade here, if the next trade wins tomorrow, then it'll bounce right back. So looking at this right here, this is entry happened at the 733 price point. So one thing that I notice here too is that if the entry comes up kind of late, it tends to lose. So I only took that with my Apex. It's fine. It's like small loss. It's the cost of testing specific strategies. So yeah, for December so far, December 2nd on Monday lost. That was when the price was whipsawing. That's when the price was kind of all over the place. And then Tuesday it won 30 points. Wednesday it won 30 points. Thursday won 30 points. Friday won lost 15 points. Monday won 30 points. Tuesday won 30, and etc. So you can see here the overall stats for December is still really good. Like even with the loss per today, it'd be at like 135 net profit. I guess I can do this here too. Yeah, so these are the stats currently for December. It's actually doing pretty nice. It's currently at a 66.7% win rate. Total net profit of 135 points. Yeah, it's doing all right. Add this over here as well. So I'll just keep updating the data and I'll keep testing it. Once I've tested it enough and it looks like, something that's promising, then in that situation, then I'll implement it as an official entry. But yeah, today's just one of those days, market's going sideways, not very much to work with here. The stats here are all right. Yeah, Sam said it sounds like a solid strategy. 66% win rate for a 1 to 2. Yeah, exactly, Sam. So, if it has, well, that's the win rate for December specifically. So for December right now, it's currently at a 66.7. For last month, November, it was at a 50% win rate. And then for October, it was 43.5. But it's still netted a profit because, like you said, it's a 1 to 2. So even if you were to lose a trade, once you win a trade, it'll just make it right back. And then there tends to be a lot of like win streaks. So when you do have a couple win streaks, it'll carry you over back into profit for the most part. So yeah, I think it's solid. And I just got to keep testing it longer. What I'm going to do here for the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, I'm going to keep going deeper and deeper into the stats. So I've only gone back into October and I'm going to see how it moved in the summer. I think that's going to be the key thing because it seems like a good strategy to be using during sideways markets or like rangy markets like today. But yeah, guys, there's not really much else here to take. You can't really take any directional moves here, unfortunately, because there's no direction. You can see over your price comes down, then it shifts back up, then it comes back down, and it's just not really worth the risk to get into any directional entries here. I mean, you might get lucky with some directional entries. Like for example, there was a breakout V3 continuation that happened right here. The only problem is that it was right at the session, so I wouldn't have taken the trade here. And then yeah, there was another breakout V3 continuation here, but it was again right at the sessions. So although there are entries that are possible to come up, it's just this isn't the type of market to be taking anything too risky. Unless you're testing something, of course, like what I'm doing here with the levels. Test it with low risk and then just if it yields a good profit, then of course just keep taking it. Yeah, exactly. Sam said, yeah, bread and butter strategy. Hopefully it keeps going. Yeah, same here. I hope so. So I'll test it again tomorrow, guys. Same thing. Um, Test the strategy tomorrow, and then if it works well, then that might be the next main strategy that I'll probably look at. I'll keep continuing to apply the regular breakout because that's a staple for us. And then for this specific breakout as well for the liquidity or not liquidity for the levels, I'll use this as well because I think those are two solid strategies to use. Like they're two positive risk reward for 1 to 2. Also, if you want to implement I mean, you can still take like other strategies. Like if you want to take the breakout V3 continuation, you can do that. What I'm trying to move towards here is like positive risk reward because of the type of market that we're currently in. Usually when the market's moving very directional, it's easy to take negative risk reward entries because you can just scalp a bunch of entries that come in, right? But the problem is we don't have a directional market right now. Price is going sideways. It's been doing this for the entire week. If you guys have seen the breakout, Monday, Wednesday, and today, they all would have lost if you took trades in either direction for a positive risk reward. So like right now, it's I think it's ideal to use either a 1 to 1 or to use a negative risk reward, or not even negative. A 1 to 1 actually would probably be best. Negative wouldn't because if you took a loss, you'll be kind of screwed for recouping those losses. So. All right, guys, I think this might be it for the day. It's 7:42 right now. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock. I just don't think there's any reason for us to force any trades right now. If we stay on this live session, I know some people are going to get that itch to like force a trade here, but there just isn't anything to take right now at the moment. Um, yeah, there's just nothing here right now. There was no rejection above here up top. So there's no entry for a sell here with regard to the levels, of course. So let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. I wonder if this over here pushed up high enough. No, still didn't push up high enough. Volatility is still kind of low. So, all right, guys, I think today is probably a good day for you guys to conserve your capital. As you guys can see from the clean chart here, there's just no price isn't going anywhere. It's ranging between this whole big range right here. So it's ranging from this upper range, which is a 250 price point, and then ranging from this lower point over here, which is the 100 price point. So this is about, I mean, it's like almost 200 points in range. The smaller range is going to be between this area if you want to compact it a little bit. It's going to be between the 100 and the 200. But for the most part, I mean, price here is just super choppy. Again, we didn't take any actual entries for the day. We did mark up the breakout to identify if it would have hit or not. You can see over here, it didn't matter which direction you took it in, buy or sell would have lost for a positive risk reward. And then I didn't really take any scalps here, aside from the one that I was testing on this entry right here. But I'll keep testing this moving forward. And if the market starts to move directional, we'll start to look for more directional entries tomorrow. But I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow because this week in total has been very whipsaw, choppy, and sideways. So we'll just conserve capital, guys. I mean, there's no need to force any trades. You got the whole rest of the month ahead of you. So if this week isn't so great, like for me, I had one loss this week for the breakout. Thankfully, I've been sitting out of the market, so I haven't been eating any other losses. I need to have one win. If I have one win for the breakout, it'll recoup all like the one loss from Monday, and then we can go from there. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I would just sit out of the market, come back tomorrow fresh. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be more directional. You can take more entries. Otherwise, we'll do the same thing. We'll just be as consistent, as disciplined as possible. And if the market doesn't give us what we need, we're going to sit out of the market. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys here tomorrow.